to learn what drives your inner motivations, fears, and subconscious conditionings? Personal coach Dan Hunt has helped so many by being dedicated to giving people back to themselves. He's here to tell us how we can find our inner selves and stay true to it. Let's welcome him to the program. So let's talk about people and why do they not know their inner selves, and why is it so important to, well, obviously it's very important, but why?
Well, people, I think we don't know ourselves primarily because we're so conditioned, you know. We tend to get fixated in different ways of thinking, and the Enneagram is a way to help us to expose those, and a self-reflection tool so that we can understand ourselves and others better.
When you speak about inner self,
yes.
What exactly do you mean?
Well, when we come into this world, we're like an open sheet. And as we go through life, little things happen to us that cause us to kind of shut down. You know, various traumatic things might happen, or, you know, even good things. But we tend to have carrots and whips that happen to us in life, which condition us to move in certain directions. So we're naturally predisposed to work in a certain way. Without all of that conditioning, we're just like a newborn baby. We're like open, very innocent, spontaneous, loving people.
And that's obviously the way we're born, and like you said, things change us.
Right.
So how do we go astray that far? I mean, do we really go astray that far, or we always have that inner self within us that just needs to come out?
Yes, I believe so. And I believe Socrates believed that whole idea that, you know, the truth is within us. We just need to kind of lure it out, you know. And as we talk about ourselves, we give each other permission to do that. And that's why I think the Enneagram is so powerful, you know. It allows us to kind of draw each other out.
So then my goal would be to then get to that spontaneity that you talked about.
Right.
And so how am I going to do it?
Well, there's many tools that can help us to do that. Hypnosis is one of the tools that I use with my coaching work. The Enneagram is kind of like, if you go to a doctor, you have like a blood test, for instance, to find out what different symptoms, what things are wrong. And the Enneagram can serve like a psychic map, a map of our psyches. The tools that we use to resolve these are hypnotism, different coaching, writing and journaling and things of that nature, and different questions that we ask ourselves to help kind of refocus ourselves in different ways.
Now, the Enneagram is simply a tool that can help parents, moms, anyone really find out why they do the things they do and maybe change them if they feel that they need to. Can you go over the different points of it and kind of give us some tips on what it is and so forth?
Well, the Enneagram is a 9-point psycho-spiritual profiling system. And as you can see from the diagram, there are basically, you see the numbers 1 through 9, 9 being at the top, 1 starting at the 1 o'clock position. And the top 3 are doing-centric people. Those are 8, 9, and 1 types. And the ones on the right side are feeling types, 2, 3, and 4. And the ones on the left side are thinking types, 5, 6, and 7.
So is there a test that you can take to find out which one of those things you are?
Yes. There's an Enneagram profile that I have that you can take. Yes.
And that is really like a personality assessment?
Yes. It's very similar to another personality profiling system. I don't know if I can mention the name or not. But it measures 9 different types, each one of these 9 types. How much of each one of those, I like to call them energies that we have.
Oh. All right, so I really want to bring the graphic back up, and I really want to spend some time talking about each part. So if a mom's at home and she's watching, she could say, oh, that's me, or no, that's not me, or oh, I spend too much time in that area, and why I'm not being balanced.
Okay.
Okay, so let's bring the graphic back up, and again, let's go through them.
Okay, we'll start with number 1, the 1 o'clock position, and that tends to focus on reforming, improving, and perfecting. I call them pet ruminations each one has. The rumination for that one is not right or not good enough.
Oh.
So they focus primarily on making things better, improving things, and things
Like
of
a
that nature.
perfectionist.
Yes.
That's me.
Okay.
I told you were the doing.
So I'm a number one. That would be number
Well,
for that whole area.
You will have, there's 20 questions for each one of these.
Okay.
Oh.
So depending upon how much you answer of each one,
Oh,
you would have
goodness.
that percentage.
Yeah, I'm
And
a
then you can
doing.
lay it out on a pie chart to see graphically how much of each one of these you have.
Okay.
Or how little, which is just as important to know.
Okay.
Okay, so now
Yeah.
in the feeling, the number 2 says what?
Number 2 is focusing on helping, giving, and mothering. And the pet rumination, as I like to call it for that one, is not loving, helpful, or giving enough.
And I'm
So-
sure moms
also
really,
fall there.
we know that moms fall in that
That's
that
very
area.
true,
Okay.
yeah.
But can you fall into it too much?
Oh, absolutely. This is exactly what the Enneagram tries to do, is show us how much we over-focus, kind of have the blinders on because we become fixated in one specific area. All of the colors of the rainbow are valid, so to speak, but we tend to focus too much on one color.
And so really then you're getting into your inner self is trying to get somebody to get off of that one area and balance to do all 3 of those areas.
Yes, integration is what I like to call that. Integrate all 9 of the colors into your life.
Okay.
So number 3, what was the next one?
Number 3 is achieving, succeeding, and accomplishing. And the pet rumination is not achieving or successful enough. So that's the type A type personality.
And then quickly, we only have a few minutes left. Let's just go
Okay,
around.
number 4 is expressing and relating.
Let's put the graphic back up so people could see.
Okay, and they believe that they're not unique, understood, or talented enough.
Oh.
Number 5, discovering, analyzing, observing, investigating. Believe they're not wise or smart enough.
Oh.
Protecting, preventing, and defending is number 6. Not safe, protected, or guided enough.
Oh.
Adventuring, playing for number 7. Not nurtured, content, or satisfied enough. Competing, winning, defeating, or fighting. And the rumination for number 8. Not strong, powerful, or assertive enough. And lastly, the number 9, which is the type that I am, unifying, placating, calming, and peacekeeping in the core
that's
ruminations.
nice.
Not supported, serene, or connected enough.
So you're
Now-
feeling you aren't supported or connected
I
enough.
don't
Is that what that means?
understand.
I'm getting
Yes,
confused.
generally it's about, well, it could be both about us and both about others, depending upon what we're focusing on at the moment. But these are the core things that we value in our lives.
So we'll take a quick break right now, but when we return, Dan is going to tell us even more about finding our inner selves. We'll be back with more of Moms Gone Mad after these messages.